My name is Lukas Pauer. I'm a licensed architect, urbanist, educator, and I'm the founding director of the Vertical Geopolitics Lab, which is an investigative practice and think tank dedicated to exposing intangible systems and hidden agendas within the built environment. I'd say that in recent years, the concept of sovereignty has really come to the fore. Disputed borders and displaced people are on the rise, and the question of how sovereignty is spatially constituted has really been contested. In critical international relations and political geography, scholars have already started to re-examine our international system's most critical assumptions, which seek to preserve the fixity of boundaries. For example, we know that nation-state sovereignty is not contained within strict territorial boundaries on the ground. And we also know that it's necessary to rethink geopolitics in terms of volume in 3 dimensions rather than area. But to date, limited work has really addressed the central question of how sovereignty is materially constituted through buildings in the performative account of governance. My research investigates buildings as evidence for the projection of power, authority, and influence. Specifically, my doctoral dissertation studies the architectural resolution of imperial colonial expansion throughout history. To assume that governance is an invisible and immaterial force really ignores the physical manifestations of power. As facts on the ground, buildings can link a polity to its claimed domain. Buildings assert governance spatially through structure, appearance, function, siding, and scale. But throughout the history of imperial colonial expansion, architectural techniques have rarely been theorized. So how have buildings been used to legitimize governance through which bodies and spaces were made subjects? This question really guides my research, which argues that it is possible to trace back the historical origins of architectural techniques that have shaped how buildings are used to legitimize expansion today. I'd like to discuss with students not only how policy may affect buildings, but also how buildings may in turn modify policy. I think it's important for students to really have this sense of curiosity, to recognize the fact that bordering technologies can often be found in seemingly minor or banal objects. Without adequately recognizing architecture and infrastructure in the production of sovereign space, we really risk overlooking how buildings are imbued with political agency. Not to recognize this, I think, would really continue to render policymaking out of touch with the reality on the ground. I think that this is not only an opportunity, but really a responsibility for architects and urbanists to be a part of these discussions.